Assalamu alaikum viewers, I am Sumaira Rab and you are watching my channel Teacher Online by Sumaira Rab। आज मैं आपके लिए सेकेंडरी स्टेज इंग्लिश बुक 2 फॉर क्लास 10 का चैप्टर नंबर 2 लेकर आई हूँ। उससे पहले कि हम चैप्टर स्टार्ट करें, आपसे एक छोटी सी रिक्वेस्ट कि मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल के आइकन को प्रेस करें ताकि आपको मेरी नई वीडियोज़ की नोटिफिकेशंस मिलती रहें। वीडियो अच्छी लगे तो लाइक और शेयर ज़रूर करें। The Wise Caliph. The Caliph Harun al-Rashid was known and respected for his justice and wisdom. At night he would disguise himself as a common man and go through the streets of Baghdad. He would mingle with the common people in order to gain first-hand knowledge of their difficulties and problems. खलीफा हारून रशीद अपने इंसाफ और अक्लमंदी की वजह से जाने जाते थे और लोग उनका एहतराम करते थे। रात को वो आम आदमी का भेस बदलकर बगदाद की गलियों में निकल जाते और लोगों में घुल मिल जाते ताकि उनको आवाम की मुश्किलात और परेशानियों का इल्म हो सके। One day when he was holding court, two men were brought before him. One of them was well dressed and appeared to be a well-to-do respectable citizen, while the other seemed to be a beggar because he was in rags. These two men were holding between them a beautiful white horse. The Qazi approached the Caliph and said to him, "O leader of the faithful, I have brought before you a dispute which I could not settle. It is a difficult case, but I am certain that with your knowledge and wisdom, you will pronounce a just decision." एक दिन जब वो दरबार में बैठे थे, दो आदमियों को उनके सामने लाया गया। उनमें से एक अच्छा लिबास पहने हुए था और मुअज़्ज़ज़ शहरी लग रहा था, जबकि दूसरा फ़कीर लग रहा था क्योंकि वो फटे पुराने कपड़े पहने हुए था और उन दोनों के दरमियान एक खूबसूरत सफ़ेद घोड़ा था। काजी आगे बढ़ता है और कहता है, ए अमीरुल मोमिनीन, मैं आपके सामने एक ऐसा तनाज़ा लेकर हाज़िर हुआ हूँ जो मुझसे हल नहीं हो सका। ये एक मुश्किल मसला है, लेकिन मुझे उम्मीद है कि आप अपने इल्म दानिश से सही फ़ैसला कर सकेंगे। What is the dispute? asked the Caliph. तनाज़ा क्या है? खलीफा ने पूछा। These two men here are fighting over this horse. Each one of them claims and swears that this horse is his. ये दोनों आदमी इस घोड़े के ऊपर लड़ रहे हैं। उनमें से हर एक का ये दावा कर रहा है और कसम उठा रहा है कि घोड़ा उसका है। Step forward, the Caliph ordered the well-dressed man, and let's hear what you have to say. आगे बढ़ो, खलीफा ने मुअज़्ज़ज़ शख्स को हुक्म दिया। सुनते हैं तुम्हारे पास कहने को क्या है। The man said to the Caliph, "O leader of the faithful, I beg to believe me that whatever I say in your presence shall be the truth. This morning, when I was riding to the city, I saw this beggar limping along ahead of me. On hearing the sound of my horse's hoofs, he turned round and motioned to me to stop. I pulled the reins of my horse. He begged me to give him a ride up to the city gate. He was lame. I felt sorry for him, so I pulled him up behind me on the horse. When we reached the city gate, I stopped and turned round to help him get down. He refused to dismount. I was puzzled and gently told him to get down because we had reached the city gate. He said, "Why should I get down? I gave you a ride and now you want to rob me of my horse?" उस शख्स ने खलीफा से कहा, अमीरुल मोमिनीन, मैं आपको यकीन दिलाता हूँ कि आपकी मौजूदगी में जो कुछ भी मैं कहूँगा सच कहूँगा। इस सुबह जब मैं शहर की जानिब आ रहा था, मैंने इस फ़कीर को आगे लंगड़ा कर चलते हुए देखा। मेरे घोड़े के कदमों की आवाज़ सुनकर ये मेरी जानिब मुड़ा और रुकने का इशारा किया। मैंने अपने घोड़े की लगाम खींची इसने मुझसे शहर तक की सवारी देने की दरख्वास्त की। ये लंगड़ा था, मुझे इस पर अफसोस हुआ, लिहाजा मैंने इसे अपने पीछे घोड़े पर बिठा लिया। जब हम शहर के दरवाजे पर पहुँचे, मैं रुक गया और पीछे मुड़कर उसे नीचे उतरने में मदद करने के लिए कहा। उसने नीचे उतरने से इनकार कर दिया। मैं परेशान हुआ और इसे आराम से नीचे उतरने को कहा, क्योंकि हम शहर के दरवाजे तक पहुंच चुके थे। इसने कहा, मैं क्यों नीचे उतरूं? मैंने तुम्हें सवारी दी और अब तुम मुझसे मेरा घोड़ा छीनना चाहते हो? Then the beggar limped forward and said, O leader of the faithful, you are the helper and the guardian of the poor. You are a wise and just Caliph. Have pity on me and save me from the cruelty and injustice of this rich man. I can swear that this horse belongs to me. You must be thinking. इसके बाद वो फ़कीर लंगड़ाता हुआ आगे बढ़ा और कहने लगा, अमीरुल मोमिनीन, आप गरीबों के मददगार और सरपरस्त हैं। आप एक अक्लमंद और इंसाफ पसंद खलीफा हैं। मुझ पर रहम करें और मुझे इस अमीर आदमी के जुल्म और नाइंसाफ़ी से बचाएं। मैं कसम खाता हूँ कि ये घोड़ा मेरा है। You must be thinking like everybody else in this court. You must be thinking, like everybody else in this court, how a beggar like me can afford to buy and keep such a fine horse. It is because of this horse that I am in rags. Whatever money I had, I spent on this horse. This morning, as I was coming to the city on my horse, I noticed this man walking along the road. When I came close to him, he stopped me and requested to lend him my horse, for he was in a great hurry to reach the city. Of course, I could not lend my horse to a complete stranger, could I? Instead, I let him ride my horse while I sat behind him. As we reached the city gate, he asked me to get down and leave the horse to him. Such a fine horse should not belong to a beggar, he said. Now be off and don't you mention it to anyone. And even if you do, nobody is going to believe you. Now, sir, I beg you to save me from this robber and restore to me what is my own. आप और दरबार में मौजूद हर शख्स ये सोच रहा होगा कि एक मुझ जैसा फ़कीर इतना अच्छा घोड़ा कैसे ख़रीद कर रख सकता है। ये इसी घोड़े की वजह से आज मैं इन हालों को पहुंचा हूँ। जो कुछ पैसे मेरे पास थे, मैंने इस घोड़े पर खर्च कर दिए। इस सुबह जब मैं अपने घोड़े पर शहर आ रहा था, मैंने इस शख्स को सड़क पर चलते हुए देखा। जब मैं इसके नज़दीक आया, उसने मुझे रोका और उसे अपना घोड़ा शहर तक देने की दरख्वास्त की, क्योंकि इसे शहर पहुंचने की जल्दी थी। ज़ाहिर है मैं किस तरह अपना घोड़ा एक अजनबी को दे सकता था। इसके बजाय मैंने इसे सवारी दी और ख़ुद इसके पीछे घोड़े पर बैठ गया। जब हम शहर के दरवाजे पर पहुँचे तो उसने मुझे नीचे उतरने और घोड़ा इसके पास छोड़ने को कहा। इतना अच्छा घोड़ा एक फ़कीर का नहीं हो सकता, इसने कहा। अब तुम जाओ और इस बात का जिक्र किसी से नहीं करना, और अगर तुम कर भी दोगे तो कोई तुम्हारी बात नहीं मानेगा। अब जनाबे वाला, मैं आपसे दरख्वास्त करता हूँ कि आप मुझे इस लुटेरे से बचाएं और जो मेरा है मुझे वापस दिलवाएं। I think this case is not very difficult to decide, said the Caliph to the Qazi. I shall decide it in a minute. Tell these men to place their hands on the horse, one by one. Let the beggar do it first. मेरा ख्याल है इस मसले का फ़ैसला करना इतना मुश्किल नहीं। खलीफा ने काजी से कहा, मैं 1 मिनट में इसका फ़ैसला कर दूंगा। इन दोनों आदमियों को बारी बारी अपना हाथ घोड़े पर रखने को कहो। पहले फ़कीर को करने दो। When the beggar touched the horse, it winced, as if it did not like the touch of his hand. But at the touch of the rich man's hand, the horse snorted and neighed with pleasure. जब फ़कीर ने घोड़े को छुआ तो घोड़ा बिदक कर पीछे हट गया, जैसे इसका हाथ रखना उसे पसंद ना आया हो। लेकिन जब अमीर आदमी ने घोड़े पर हाथ रखा तो घोड़ा गर्दन हिलाने लगा और खुशी से हिनहिनाने लगा। This horse belongs to him. pronounced the Caliph. "Give the horse to its master." Then the Caliph turned to the beggar and said, "You are a liar and a wicked man. You tried to rob an honest and respectable citizen. You deserve severe punishment. But I shall be merciful and forgive you this time, if you beg forgiveness of this gentleman here." ये घोड़ा इस शख्स का है, खलीफा ने फैसला सुनाया। घोड़ा इसके मालिक के हवाले किया जाए। फिर खलीफा फ़कीर के जानिब बढ़ा और कहने लगा, "तुम एक झूठे और मक्कार शख्स हो। तुमने एक ईमानदार और मोअज़्ज़ज़ आदमी को लूटने की कोशिश की। तुम सख्त सज़ा के हकदार हो। लेकिन मैं तुम पर रहम करते हुए इस मर्तबा तुम्हें माफ़ कर दूंगा अगर तुम इस भले शख्स से माफ़ी मांगो." The rich man readily forgave the beggar and, feeling sorry for him, took out his purse and gave him a handful of gold coins. This noble action of the rich man pleased everybody in the court. अमीर शख्स ने फ़ौरन ही फ़कीर को माफ़ कर दिया और इसके लिए अफसोस करते हुए उसने अपना बटुआ निकाला और मुट्ठी भर सोने के सिक्के इस फ़कीर को दिए। अमीर शख्स के इस आला इक़दाम को दरबार में बैठे हर शख्स ने पसंद किया। And now, question answers of this lesson. Question number 1. What was Caliph Harun al-Rashid known and respected for? The Caliph Harun al-Rashid was known and respected for his justice and wisdom. He was very kind towards his people. Question number 2. Why did he go through the streets of Baghdad at night? Answer. He wanted to know the difficulties and problems of his people, so he disguised himself as a common man and go through the streets of Baghdad at night. Question number 3. What did the Qazi say to the Caliph? Answer. The Qazi approached the Caliph and said to him, "O leader of the faithful, I have brought before you a dispute which I could not settle. It is a difficult case, but I am certain that with your knowledge and wisdom, you will pronounce a just decision." Now question number 4. What was the dispute between the rich man and the beggar? Answer. The possession of a beautiful white horse was the dispute between the rich man and the beggar. Each of them was claiming the ownership of the horse. Question number 5. What did the rich man tell the Caliph? Answer. The rich man told his side of the story that morning when he was coming to the city, he saw the beggar ahead of him. When he reached near the beggar, he asked him a ride to the city gate. As the beggar was lame, he agreed. But when they reached the city gate, the beggar refused to dismount. Question number 6. What did the beggar tell the Caliph? Answer. The beggar told his side of the story that morning when he was coming to the city, he saw the rich man walking along the road. When he came close to the rich man, he asked the beggar his horse, as he was in a hurry to reach the city. Instead giving horse to a stranger, the beggar gave him a ride to the city gate, but when they reached the city gate, the rich man refused to dismount. Question number 7. Why did the beggar refuse to get down the horse? Answer. The beggar was claiming the ownership of the horse, so he refused to get down. Question number 8. What did the horse do when the beggar touched it? Answer. When the beggar touched the horse, it winced as if it did not like the touch of his hand. Question number 9. How did the horse feel when the rich man touched it? Answer. At the touch of the rich man's hand, the horse snorted and neighed with pleasure. Question number 10. What did the Caliph say to the beggar? Answer. The Caliph said to the beggar, "You are a liar and a wicked man. You tried to rob an honest and respectable citizen. You deserve severe punishment, but I shall be merciful and forgive you this time if you beg forgiveness of this gentleman here." And now a reference to the context. Number 1. O leader of the faithful, I have brought before you a dispute which I could not settle. It is a difficult case, but I am certain that with your knowledge and wisdom you will pronounce a just decision. Questions. Number 1. Name the lesson and the speaker. Number 2. Who is referred here as the leader of the faithful? Number 3. About which dispute is the speaker talking here? Answers. The lesson is the Wise Caliph and the speaker is the Qazi. Answer number 2. Caliph Harun al-Rashid is referred here as the leader of the faithful. Answer number 3. The speaker is talking about the dispute between the rich man and the beggar. Reference to context number 2. I think this case is not very difficult to decide. I shall decide it in a minute. Tell these men to place their hands on the horse one by one. Questions. Number 1. Name the lesson and the speaker. Number 2. In the first line, for whom I stands for. Number 3. Which men are referred here in this paragraph? Answers. Number 1. The lesson is the Wise Caliph and the Caliph is the speaker. Answer number 2. In the first line, I stands for the Caliph. Answer number 3. The rich man and the beggar are referred here in this paragraph. Reference to context number 3. This horse belongs to him. Give the horse to its master. You are a liar and a wicked man. Questions. Number 1. Name the lesson and the speaker. Number 2. To whom does the horse belong? Number 3. Who is referred here as a liar and a wicked man? Answers. Number 1. The lesson is the Wise Caliph and the Caliph is the speaker. Answer number 2. The horse belongs to the rich man. Answer number 3. The beggar is referred here as a liar and a wicked man.